Hello.
Hello.
How are you? Today I'm going to read a story for you all called Ariel. It's a story in the book Boy Days. You want to hear the story? Okay. The first time I see Ariel, I fall in love. She have shape for so, a bubbly face and wide hips like a 2-liter sweet drink. But she waist narrow and she stomach chisel out like them girl and them in milk advertisement. She was a little brown skin chick with hair that more curly than straight. She voluptuous too. I did already make up my mind that she nice too bad, so when I see how brown and crooked she teeth was, I didn't study it. The first time I talked to Ariel was in Trinity Mall, where she was walking selling sweetie in a little booth that sold popcorn too. A diabetic, but I want to engage in conversation bad, so I buy in like his first time. How old you is, miss? Asked she. She closed she mouth and jerked back.
Why you want to know that?
Well, I love she more. I find you nice, I say. Popping a sweetie in my mouth, my sugar raised instantly. I could get your phone number.
You don't find me moving kind of fast? You ain't even know my name.
I used the opening and asked she. The way she say Ariel, she lips look thick and nice. Ariel, I say, liking its appeal, and then smooth like honey a slip in a line. That is a name for angels. And the blush I get tell me how things in my favor. Before I leave, I had the phone number. 2 days later, I want to buy more sweetie. By this time, it's over $60 I spend and I can't even eat the thing on them. Me and Ariel talking cool, she giving me all the right signs, laughing at my jokes, twirling her hair while listening, smiling at my stealer jokes, slapping my arms for the funnier ones. When her joke was real kicksy, she'd hide her lips and nose with 5 upright fingers and her eyes twinkled as she giggled into her palm. In time, the question of age come up. I get nervous because I guessing from all she experienced, she much older than me.
Come on, she said. Tell me how much years you have now.
She leaned over the counter and pulled me closer with her forefinger. Answer me first now, pleaded love in my eyes. I watching she elbows and fingers and find they looking a little pleated, so I frightened to tell she the truth. So I lie and say I is 19. This time I is 16. My voice didn't even crack yet, but my lie worked good because a little big for my age. Oh, that is not bad, she said, smiling, twirling her hair.
I is 23.
She lifted her brow, she chewing down hard on her chewing gum. I want to say love because it's in my heart, but I know it's a little too early. And Ariel smiled. The chick was gorgeous, you know. I woke home that night thinking, she is really 7 years older. I wouldn't lie, although I was in love, I think I had my first taste of being a real man. I mean, imagine I hook up with somebody as experienced as Ariel. So I started to beg my mother for extra money, and what I used to spend on games, back in them days is 75 cents for a coin, I saving my money. 2 months later, I buy a gift for my girl. A cheap ceramic surfboard with 3 words on its cherry pink face. 2 weeks later, Ariel in my mother's house for my parents' anniversary. I'm making all kind of joke and confiding how she is the one, and I hoping that my big brother don't sell out my real age. My father only watching she over a tall plate of roti, and I could tell he trying to calculate something because he had that look on his face. I realized one thing that night. Ariel could eat. She eat about 2 good plate of roti and curry and sit down rubbing she belly. Meanwhile, I doing the maths thinking I need a walk to maintain she. That night, a fella named Robert picked up Ariel from the anniversary party. A cool red man who mommy say could have passed for we family, so she give him a plate of food. When they leave, daddy corner me. He says, son, that girl, how old she is? She looks like a grown woman. When I tell him 23, he shake his head. Never happen. She older than that. You ain't see she elbows and she toes her. I tell the old man I in love and she could be older than that. I ain't care because she is the woman I going and married. Time pass. Every day I in the mall checking Ariel. Trying to get closer, trying to win her affection. I even stopped buying sweetie. Instead, I started taking her any cheap, meaningful gifts I could find. One day I find she looking sad. I say, babes, what happened? Talk to me now. I have something to confess, she say. I is not really 23, you know. I is 28. That is small thing I say. I still love you. And it felt so good to say that I smiled. We hug up and she even gave me a big kiss. I wake up whole night staring at the ceiling, counting all the nuts in the wood until it's morning. At 10 o'clock when I walk in the mall, my chest stick out like I'm wearing a bulletproof vest. And Ariel all dolls up, she dress up nice. I could run away early, she told me. Let me go and buy me now. You have your car? Well, ashamed to tell the girl I'm too young to even have my license. So I tell she how my father borrowed my car. She get vexed. We travel to Arima, then take a taxi to a community of small houses, fence yard and high bush just off the highway. I want to ask she whether or not she's a squatter because the place have that look and feel. A car coming towards us stopped and Ariel introduced me to she mother man, and she stepsister. They looked like squatters. A child sitting down on the mother lap. When they asked if we want to go to the beach, we blanked them. Of course we blanked them. 5 minutes inside Ariel's house, my bladder weak. I never encountered anything like this where I home alone with a chick, much less my woman dread. When we go in she bedroom, she showed me a mattress on the ground. I say, what happened? You have a child or? She laughed and say yes. I smiled but I worried because I studied how to feed this woman and manage the child. I tell she how I want to pee. She showed me the bathroom and after a number one I go on to wash my hand.
While it's not relevant to the story, the strangest thing happened. I don't know if it's the pipe was rusty or if I get type with cesspit, but a thick nasty brown paste shoot out. I spent 15 minutes scrubbing my hand. I used perfumes that was on the sink. I used detergent on the ground next to the toilet. I used a green mouthwash and a Trinity Mall sell at the $10 store. I rub and I rub and I rub.
When I go on back in the bedroom, Ariel lie down on the mattress. Well boy, my bladder full up again. Come, she said. I smelled my hands, I started to cry, then I ran away. 1 week later, I went to the mall. I buy some sweetie, but Ariel blew vex, only making a little eye contact. A few minutes into the silence, the same fella who picked you up for my parents' anniversary, as if by magic walked past. He stopped, they spoke, I tried to listen, my heart still in pieces, and Ariel stood before me like she is Wonder Woman. This is Robert. Well, I watch him cut eye. You know, just like this, like, I'm Soler, who's you, boy? What are you doing here? Well, she said, Robert and I have been seeing each other for the past 6 months. I do the maths. I know Ariel about that long. I'm sorry, Ariel said, but I never loved you. And Ariel and Robert, they left. And I cried like a 16-year-old boy would cry. And I knew my heart would ache for an eternity. And I cried for 2 weeks, waking every morning only to remember that my heart was broken. Then I decided it's time to confront Ariel. She can't play, she doing me that. How she could do me that? I go on in the mall and I see she from a distance. She was talking to a boy I knew, smiling, twirling her hair, brown smiles plastered across her face. And I reason with myself and I say, what's she now, eh? I wonder if she even thought of me while I spent forever and ever crying. Why should I be unhappy when she wasn't? And why should I die inside while she lived? I had $5 in my pocket. And I looked at her one last time. And I went to the arcade.